What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got another one of my top 20 favorite horror movies of all time. I'm filming two today because I missed yesterday. We are down to the top 6, my top 6 personal favorite horror films of all time, and now it starts to get down to the nitty-gritty. It's controversial time. I've been counting backwards every day from 20 to 1. Of my favorite horror films. If you guys want to see number 20 through number 7, those are all finished. They are on my channel as well. Go check those out, comment and debate those. Post your lists below. I've been doing one or two a day, depending on if I miss a day or not. And I've been briefly reviewing and discussing my all-time favorite horror films, with my number 1 video being revealed on Halloween morning. So we're in the top 6 now, and now, like I said, it starts getting a little controversial because I'm doing a couple things different here. I'm not going to just take the standard, usual horror fare. So my number 6 favorite all-time movie is actually 1990's Child's Play 2. Now, you're going to notice that a lot of the all-time famous horror franchises, like Jason, like Michael, like Freddy, like Chucky, are going to be represented in this list up at the top here. But I'm picking my favorites out of each of those franchises, so it might not necessarily be number 1. You look at this list and say, number 6 of all time, how can you put Child's Play 2? How could you not put the original? Well, like I said, I'm trying to take my personal favorites out of each franchise to represent them, not just the first one, which is the most famous. Of course, number 1 is iconic and gave birth to the series, and number 1's an excellent movie. The first Child's Play is great. It has everything a horror movie could want, but I personally like number 2 better. You guys can debate that down below, but I think number 2 is the better movie for me personally. It was filmed and released in 1990. The director of this was John LaFia. Not quite sure who that is, but I don't know about his past. But John LaFia directed. Of course, Alex Vincent returned as Andy Barclay, the child trying to escape Chucky, Charles Lee Ray. And the famous Brad Dourif, of course, continues to play Chucky in this movie. It picks up maybe a few months or so after the first one has ended. Again, there are spoilers in this, so if you have not seen Child's Play, any of the series, go back and watch those, then come back and watch this. Child's Play 2 kicks off with Chucky being revived in a doll factory, being rebuilt somehow after being destroyed in the first one. And he is back with a vengeance. The doll makers get destroyed quickly, and Chucky is on a rampage once again, trying to find the one that got away, the elusive little boy, Andy Barclay, from the first one. Story picks up that Andy's mother was put into an insane asylum because nobody believed her after she said that Chucky was on the loose, that the doll was killing people in the first one. So psychologically and logically, it stands to reason that she was put away after the first movie. So Andy is now in foster care. He goes to a foster home with 2 parents who usually take people in, but they think Andy's a little weird because he's still scared of Chucky. He thinks Chucky's haunting him. There is a good guy doll in the closet. And so the parents are a little weary of him, think that bouncing around from foster home to foster home has made him crazy, and his ordeal with Chucky. And he gets this adopted foster sister that is also in the care of the parents. And they have a good relationship. I really enjoy her role in this. I think she acts it well. I didn't write her name down, but she was a really good actress in this. I like the interplay between her and Andy. I like that she's sort of alternative, sort of different, doesn't listen to the parents. She's not good with authority. She has this sort of persona she crafts, and the relationship between her and Andy is really cool throughout. And there are some cool kills. There's a school scene where Chucky is in the closet. The teacher opens the door, and Chucky slashes her. Anytime Chucky's chasing Andy, it's really good. Again, Chucky's jokes in this, they ride the fine line, and they have comedic jokes, and Chucky talks a little more in this movie. And there's some black comedy, some dark humor in this. But it doesn't yet become to the point where it's more of a comedy. It's still more of a horror with some comedy lines and aspects in it, as opposed to in Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, where it becomes more horror, more humor with a little bit of violence. So it still rides the fine line of being humorous, but being a horror film. And Brad Dourif does a wonderful job as Chucky as well. It flies by. The time goes very quickly. And the famous last scene, of course, takes place in the dollhouse factory with the myriads and aisles of good guy dolls, which is a great ending sequence where Chucky winds up being put on the conveyor belt and having his arms ripped off and put him in different places. He has arms and legs coming out of his head. He gets fried, and it's a really good ending. I think this one's just better because it's smoother as a film. I like the character of Andy developing and getting a little more weary and stronger, I think. I like the sister in the film a lot. I think she does a good job. And I think Chucky, Brad Dourif, has more of a role to him. I think now the story's been told, he has more ability to kind of lean back and just be funnier and have more violence and more famous one-liners in this movie. So again, it's very close because I also love number one. 1 and 2 are by far the best in the series. It's very hard to put one over the other, so I would lump those together here. But for number 6, officially, I'm taking Child's Play 2. So what do you guys think of this movie? Is this egregious? Should I put the first one here instead? What do you guys think is the best one of the series? Is 6 too high or too low for this Child's Play entry? Tell me in the comments down below. I'm going to be recording number 5 right after this, so I'll see you guys in a second. Until then, guys, lock your doors, stay scared, dim the lights, and enjoy the movies.